Yeah, truth telling them, brain at work, brain at work. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome once again to this educational program, CTT, Brain at Work, Brain at Work. Tonyo magado bonami, do is on amikata va wanasiaji. Nemi do guaraka nuso son de iko no. But when I ask me any religious question, good question that deserves good answer. Ask me any of them. Okay? This lesson, of course, is about this Islamic scholar. According to them, he's a scholar. Sheikh Mohamed Awal. Sheikh Mohamed Awal. It's about him. For those of you who know him already, you know that he's a congenital liar. This man talks about things that he knows nothing about. And I'm sure he is the role model of Alidu. I am sure he is the role model of those guys, UTI Dawa. I'm sure he is the one they have been following. That is why Alidu, UTI Dawa, and Sean Paul, Sean Nation, they are all Muslims, but they don't agree on the same thing. You will say that Sean Paul will be saying A, they will be saying B. Okay, and they will tell you that they are following the same Allah, the same Quran, which is a blatant lie. But manima Christo to ofanya kwema nyolo nkremoto pepetowa ofanya ala kwonyejiza Mohamed Sheikh Mohamed Awal ifanti yemija blogba awo video edit. The video lasts for one hour. It is over 1 hour. So I'm going to break it into pieces. So we are taking the part 1 today. Ladies and gentlemen, when you join the show like this, you share the video with others, you comment, and we all move on. See, quickly, let's go ahead. I'm going to take his own words and disprove him using the knowledge I gained or the knowledge from the Quran. You see, the Bible, the Quran, the Veda, whatever those religiously called sacred documents, because you people say they contain the word of God, you must understand that it is not. So the Quran, if the Quran is the word of Allah, that is God, then the Quran is not for the Muslims. Listen carefully. Nanyaba Quran yantepenya onyebana Allah fanya ile mea. Ke Qur'ana manya Muslim oto onyolo. Then the Quran belongs to everybody. Get the fact clear. If it is true so let's start and we see what is there. Now, Mohamed Awal, talk, Kasa.
But it belongs to Allah, and you can see the fingerprint of Allah is at work. So therefore, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And back to the topic, what I have in front of me is the unchallengeable miracles of Quran.
About the unchallengeable miracles of the Quran, meaning there are miracles in the Quran or about the Quran that cannot be challenged, and anyone who tries to challenge those miracles will be defeated, because those miracles are so powerful, so divine, they are not challengeable. Let's continue.
You can't challenge the Quran. The Quran is fresh yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Every situation we find ourselves, the Quran will, reinvent itself to fit in that society.
So the Quran, it is fresh yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And in every situation, you will find portion of the Quran in any society. So even countries which are not existing today, thousands of years later, there are going to be new countries, new towns, new cities. So if the Quran will be able to respond to the need of those societies, it means the Quran is a book. Is a book in motion. It's not static. It means the word of Allah in the Quran is not one. it changes. It means the Quran acts like a chameleon. If the situation is bad, it will give you that bad message. If the situation is good, it gives you that one. And the Quran even has answer for things which this network didn't work. So the Quran has answer for those. It means the Quran is a book in motion. What you say? Naniba Quran nu de sia de enu lava jochoma yima nyoka tala ma ye Quran etrona de you blog by yuma. In the Quran, before Prophet Mohammed conquered Mecca, according to the Quran, Muslims can pray to Allah facing any part at all. They can face east, south, north, center, and which of them? West. It is only after Prophet Muhammad conquered Mecca, Medina, it is after that it became a law. It became compulsory for the Muslims to face the east when they are in prayer. So you can see that if it is Allah who said face anywhere at all, and the same Allah will come and tell you that face only east, it means that Allah himself doesn't know what he is saying. It means he is a God in motion. He is not a God whose yes is yes. He is not a God whose no is no. Is that clear? Let's continue.
There is one thing about the Quran that no human being will, touch. And so the Quran is unchallengeable. Why unchallengeable? Because the Western mind is so different. The Western people, like I said the last time I came here, if you tell them the angel Gabriel came from heaven and brought the wahi to Rasul alayhi salam, they don't believe that. You tell them
the people in the East, when you tell them that angel Gabriel came down and handed the Quran over to Prophet Muhammad, even the people in the East, the Arabian, they will not believe it. And you are in Ghana here, you believe it. This is from the horse own mouth. Prophet Sheikh Awal Mohamed, you are not from Saudi Arabia. And the people who brought you the religion, per your testimony, will not believe that source of the Quran. You, a fancy man, you are a fancy Sheikh Mohamed Awal. You, a fancy man. You believe what? You believe it. Okay.
Angel came and gave the Messenger of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Mount of Lights. They laugh at you. They think maybe some bolts in your head is sort of like loose. Why would you say the angel came? Were you there? Did you see the angel? Man, I don't believe that.
Do you know where he is getting this inspiration from? He from John chapter 20. When Mary Magdalene came to the disciples and told them that Jesus Christ, the body, the corpse is not in the tomb, that he has resurrected. They say Peter, John, and then the rest of the disciples didn't believe it. They were closer to Jesus all the times. Peter heard that Jesus Christ resurrected. He didn't believe it. You are in Africa, Ghana, you believe it. In the same way, the Saudi Arabians, the Asian, will not believe that Prophet Angel Gabriel brought the Quran. You, a fancy man from Ghana, you believe it, and you are there defending it. You say that there are unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. Bring them out. Let's continue.
It is something they can't believe, they can't fathom. Why would the angel come down physically and deliver to Muhammad? Why? How? So this is the question they ask. Why? How? When? All these things. So the Quran is always updating itself. Allah.
So the Quran always updates itself. The Quran updates itself, which is a different problem on its own. But let's leave that one. If the Quran is always updating itself, it means it does not have one word. And the word of God must be yes, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The word of a God who doesn't lie must be no, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So why the Holy Quran, the word of the perfect God, the most keeps updating itself? He knows the reason he is about to say it. Let's continue.
He knows that people like this are going to come. So first of all, what Allah did in Mecca was that He sent them a clear warning about the Quran. Tell them, Ya Rasulullah, لَإِنِّ اجْتَمَعَتُ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتُوا بِمِثْلِ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ لَا يَأْتُونَ بِمِثْلِهِ وَلَوْ كَانَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ ظَهِيرًا. If the whole of mankind and jinn would come together to bring a book like the Quran, they can do it. They will never be able to do it. Now think about this verse. Think, why would the messenger, if he wrote the Quran, why would he say the whole man and jinn? How sure he is.
Are you getting his analogy? If Prophet Mohammed, if it is true that Muhammad forged the Quran, if it is true that the Quran that did not come from any Allah, if it is true that it is the earlier Arabian scholars trying to create religion, because if you want to create religion, you need three things. To create a religion, you need only three things. Number one, you need to create a God. Number two, you need to find a prophet for that God. And number three, the message from the God, which is the message of the creators of the God. Those who are creating the religion, it is their message that will come to you and tell you that that message comes from a God. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Quran chapter 3 verse 3. The Quran is saying that Allah is the giver of the Torah. That is the laws in the Old Testament, Genesis to Deuteronomy. They say Allah is the giver of the Torah and the gospel. Now, Muslims on any day challenge or will challenge Christians because Jesus Christ says, if you don't eat his flesh and drink his blood, there will be no life in you. Muslims, you don't believe that statement. But your Quran is saying that Allah is the giver of the gospel. So why don't you believe in John chapter 6? It's because the prophet forged the book. In the Torah, Leviticus chapter 11, you Muslims, there are only two types of meat that you don't eat. Animal that dies of natural, animal that dies on its own, and the pig, pork. Abua, yankan mrim, and onwe, and the prekonam. These are the only two things you Muslims don't eat. Meanwhile, in the Bible, in the Torah, Leviticus chapter 11 and Deuteronomy chapter 14, Jews are forbid. Jews are not allowed to eat rat, grass cutter, rabbit, pig, camel, and all those things. Jews are not allowed to eat it. And your Quran chapter 3 verse 3 is saying that Allah is the giver of the Torah. So if Allah is the one who gave the Torah to the Jewish people, why you Muslims, you don't observe the Torah? Because the Torah is from your God, Allah. So you can see that the prophet forged the book and is making human mistake. Prophet Muhammad forged it. What you say? Surah chapter 10, ayah 37, Quran 10:37. The Quran says, this book will not have been produced by any other person but Allah. It contains the fulfillment of the earlier revelations which come before it, the Torah and the Injil. Quran chapter 10 verse 37. Your Quran says it has come to confirm the Bible. And if the Quran is here to confirm the Bible, but you Muslims, you don't believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross, resurrected on the third day, ascended into heaven, and is coming back to live eternally. You people are saying Jesus is rather coming back to die. But according to the Bible, the Christians, he is coming back to live eternally. Can't you see that your Quran is contradicting the Bible, which it claims that it has come to confirm? These are the reasons to prove that the Quran was forged, a forgery. Prophet Sheikh Awal Mohamed, come again.
With confidence. That means whosoever sent down this revelation have an encyclopedic mind to the infinity. Because why would you challenge the whole world? Mankind and jinn cannot do this? What if somebody do it? I mean,
Prophet Muhammad didn't challenge the whole world. Muhammad didn't challenge the whole world. Muhammad was speaking only to Arabians, the Arabic people. That is what Surah chapter 12 verse 1 going is saying, that this Quran is revealed. Okay, I think that is chapter 4. This Quran is revealed in Arabic so that you may understand it. So number one, the Quran was not revealed in French. The Quran was not revealed in English. The Quran was not revealed in Arabic. But the Quran was revealed in quote, which is even a lie. So I will not use the word revealed. I will say written. The Quran was not written in any other language except Arabic. And the Quran chapter 12 is saying that each messenger we have sent, we send him to his own people, speaking their language, making the message clear to them. Is this not in your Quran? Awal Mohamed. Quran chapter 12. Surah 12. Or say, each messenger we have sent, we send him to his own people, speaking their own language, making the message clear to them. Prophet Muhammad, did he come to the Ashanti people? No. Did he go to Germany? No. To which people did he go? He went to the Arabian. And if Quran 12 is saying that each messenger is sent to his own people, then Muhammad is not for the whole world, but for only the Arabians. Awal Muhammad, is that clear? Are you okay? Do you understand it? That is why I'm telling you that the Quran is not for the Muslims. It is for mankind, if it is true that it contains the word of God. Simple as that.
Islam would have been destroyed, spoiled. But still, no mankind could do that, and nobody has ever met this challenge. Allah was watching them. Few years in Mecca, they couldn't come out with anybody, no Quran. Allah was challenging them. So Allah sent another one. Are they still saying that he wrote the Quran? Okay, this time Allah said, bring 10 surah, just 10, not the whole Quran, 114 chapters, 10. If you are speaking the truth, bring.
Okay, now bring 10 surahs is different from bring 10 Quran. Get this, Muslims have been using that statement to deceive people during debate. And our Sheikh, our Mohammed, you were lucky that you refused to debate Ben Moshe. And you will continue to be lucky if you refuse to meet me in debate. You guys have been using that portion of the Quran to deceive people. That they say bring 10 surahs. If you claim that Prophet Muhammad forges the Quran, bring 10 surah like it and call your witness to come and prove your case. Is that not so? Is that not so? Genesis chapter, in the book of Genesis, angels came, I think Genesis 18. Angels came to Abraham, and Abraham gave them food to eat. That same story is in your Quran. So bring 10 surahs like it. That is one for you. If you are saying that Muhammad forged the Quran, it means bring proofs. Prove that actually he forged it. And these are the portions that shows that the Quran was forged out of the Bible. The Quran was forged out of the Bible. What you say? In the Numbers chapter 20, God, in quote, God told Moses to hit a stone. Water will come out of it for the Israelites to drink. That same story is in the Quran. The Bible and the Quran, which of them came first? Not the Bible. So if that story is in the Bible and you copy it into the Quran, is it not forgery? Are you not forging? What is the meaning of forgery? To forge something is that something original or something which is earlier invented or produced is there. You watch it and create a counterfeit or a one which is like it. And your friend a forgery. What do you say? See, these are the unchallengeable miracles in the Quran you are talking about. Please come again.
What did the Arabs do? They were listening. So the answer in reply, what they say was, وَقَالُوا لَا تَسْمَعُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ وَالْغَوْا فِيهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَغْلِبُونَ. Don't listen if Muhammad is reading the Quran. Make some noise so that nobody will listen.
Listen to this childish statement. Listen to this childish statement. That don't listen to the Quran. Whenever Muhammad is reading the Quran, make a noise. If you don't want to listen to the Quran, why do you go to the mosque in the first place? To just go and make noise. If I don't want to listen to the Quran, like me for instance, I don't want to listen to the teaching of the Quran from anyone, so I don't go to the mosque. If you don't want to listen to the teaching of the Torah, why will you go to the synagogue in the first place? If you don't want to listen to the teaching of the pastor, why will you go to the church in the first place? So what you are saying is a lie. Is a lie. It is because you were forcing the religion on the people. Okay? Somebody who willingly came to the church or to the mosque will not in 10 says he will not going to listen to the teaching of the Quran. So why is he there in the first place? But it is because you guys, you act like Jehovah's Witness. Whether you are reading or not, they say they want to talk to you. And then that one, I'll start playing Awal, pam. I won't listen. And yeah, by force. It is in your Quran that there is no compulsion in religion. Is that not in your Quran? That there is no compulsion in religion. It is in the Quran so. But it is in the same Quran that whosoever does not believe in Prophet Muhammad and the last day, that is judgment day, that person should be put to death. So now, can you tell me that still there is no compulsion in religion? It means there is compulsion. It means by force, everybody must be a Muslim. These are the proof that the Quran was forged by human beings and there are mere human errors in it. What do I say? Those contradictions free. There is no compulsion in religion. Always also be young crimonia, young kono. Now, what said there's no compulsion to be young crimonia is a yakuna jedi. Yakuna the jidi cry. What do you say? Anna, into as well.
A weak argument. You're going to make noise? So this is the argument. A year before the messenger left the earth, Allah again reduced the challenge. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا مِنْ مِثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُمْ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ فَإِن لَّمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا, to the end of the verse. If you are in doubt, O mankind, as to the message we've given our apostle, then bring one surah, one forge like the Quran. In fact, bring your witnesses if indeed you are speaking the truth. Allah said, you can't.
They say bring one forged surah like it. If you claim that the Quran is forged, then bring another forged surah like the Quran. And all those things you copy from the Bible are forged stories. That Moses and the Hebrew, they passed through Red Sea. They do this. All those things are forged stories. And the Quran was also copying it just like that. What do you say? So they are forged stories, and the Quran is also just copying it.
And do it. You can never be able to do it. And this is a standing miracle. But wait a minute. Some years ago, the Southern Baptist Christian evangelistic community who based in Tennessee State in America, they spoke to some Arab Christians who live in Palestine. They told them, look, you are Arabs and you speak Arabic. The Quran says you can't write a book like the Quran. Even though Muhammad wrote it long time ago, you with all your scholarship, can't you get together and write a book like the Quran? So there was a man in Haifa by the name George Habash, a Christian Arab. He said we could do it. So they get together, and the Christian Baptist Church, they supported them with fund. They funded them.
These are the things he called unchallengeable miracles of the Quran. So it means a group of Baptist scholars decided to also produce a book like the Quran. Okay? All right, let's continue.
To write a book to supersede the Quran. So they wrote this book. They call it Kitab al-Maqdisi, the holy book, whatever that means. But the irony is that in that book, you know, the Quran has certain phrases. Quran have phrases that is very, very akin to Quranic. So they inculcated the Quranic verses in their books. Surah Yohanna. Get your own word. Don't use the Quran.
That is a problem. That is the problem. The way I am, the way I talk, the way I do my teachings, the way I have my setup. If I challenge you, Awal Mohamed, that you can't talk like me, you can't run a program like me, you can't, what again? You can't do those things like me, and you say, oh, you can do it, and you want to prove to me that you can do it. Won't you use similar strategy? Won't you use my strategy to prove that, of course, you can speak like me? Won't you? So are you saying that because Adam, according to the Bible, Adam was created by God, and that story already exists in the book, in Genesis, Bible, and that same story is also in the Quran? That means the Quran, because the Quran cannot use a different name, the Quran can use the different word apart from creation. That's why the Quran also repeated the word create, just as the Bible used create. The Bible says God created Adam, and God said, now we will make man in our own image, you will resemble us, and God created mankind. In the Quran, the same thing. They say Allah asked permission from the angels that He want to create human being, a successor, and put him on earth. He want to create. So the Quran is also using the same words as the Bible has used. Does that mean that the Quran, does that discredit the Quran according to your analogy? Oh, Mr. Fancy man, come again. Come again. So if the people says they want to produce a book like the Quran, and they are using the syntaxes, or they are using phrases, words that are already in the Quran, that doesn't mean that they can achieve their target by simply using words in the Quran. How do you mean? How do you mean? Now, if they don't use words from the Quran, what at all is going to be the proof that they are creating a book like the Quran? If you want to produce a shirt like this one, will you use different color, different material, or you will use the same color, same material to produce it? This is common sense. Where your common sense? These are the unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. Oh, come on. Come on.
Quranic word, Surah Al-Makkiyah, the book, the chapter of Matthew. You know, Surah they keep doing all these things, and they put a lot of things. In they just going up and down. So the Muslim, we started talking in the United States. We started talking about this book. What happened? The Christian evangelists, they get angry, and they told these Arab Christians with their groups, why can't you get your own word? Now you're using the Quranic word. You see, now
wow, look, why can't you use your own words? So you want to tell me that Quran with 114 chapters, if I'm also writing my own book and I use a word which is already used in the Quran, I use that word in my book, it means I'm copying the Quran? Oh, this is your wisdom. Unchallengeable miracle. Unchallengeable miracle. Your reasons are this. So you have not seen the personal pronoun I. In Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39, the Bible says, God said, I and I alone am God. No other God is real. So you want to tell me that the word I is not in the Quran. You want to tell me that the word am is not in the Quran. You want to tell me that the word God is not in the Quran. You want to tell me that the word real is not in the Quran. Hey, aman for nyansan. So because they use a word from the Quran in their book, that means their book is fake. Meanwhile, you to the Quran, you use words in the Bible. Does that mean that you too, your Quran is fake because of that simple matter?
Complain. What you
These are the people showing you the road
word
to heaven. These are the people showing you road to heaven. You don't watch your steps well. Follow them. They know that they are losers. Islam is fake. Everybody knows. That is why they apply force. What do you say? Islam is fake. All the three Abrahamic religions are fake. But because the Jews are intelligent, so they don't force theirs upon anybody. They say it is their property. They say it is their property, so they will not come to you. Crusade. No, Jews don't do crusade. It is you, these Muslims and the Christian. When would you near or preach a bounty, speaker, preach that? You will not see one. They have missionaries like Rabbi Moshe Perez. Yes, I will know. Today, if the thing is fake, you will have to shout, make noise around it before you can convince one. If the thing is fake, you have to beat people, put fear in them, like Timothy Bambuzi said. Religion was not given to us to accept with common sense, but with fear. We all know the history behind the beginning of Islam. We know it and how it started. How you enslave people and put the religion in them by force. The reason why you Muslims can marry up to 4, why Islam has accepted polygamy, so that you can procreation. You can have many people. And why do you force your children to be Muslims by force? If there is no compulsion in religion, why your children, you don't allow them to choose their own religion, but you force Islam on them? It's because it is man-made, so man has to protect it. Oh, have you seen somebody preaching the sun before? That the sun is hot, is like this before? No, you don't need to preach it. What do you say? But because Islam is man-made religion, mankind has to protect it. Mankind has to defend it. Exactly, you are doing. What do you say?
so it became, now they have to pull the book from the shelf. But Alhamdulillah, we've already got some books. I have one of the books. They don't want me to have it, but Allah in His wisdom, I have one of that book. We read that and we answer the question. That's what we do. We read the book and we reply them. They can't do anything. So the book is taken out of the shelf, and Alhamdulillah, Allah said, you can do it. Whatever you can do. Today, I'm going to be giving you some of the information that the Western knowledge, the kingpin of the Western knowledge, which is Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
So you see, it's the Western knowledge, not the worldwide knowledge, but it is the knowledge that belongs to the Western world. In the same way, they say 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Thessalonians, it is a letter Paul wrote to people in Corinth. And when a Christopher today, it has become a burden for the Christians. In the same way, each messenger we have sent, we send him to his own people, speaking their own language, making the message clear to them. So Prophet Mohammed is for the Arabian, is for the Arab people. Where is the prophet for the Fanti? Where is the prophet for the Ever? We despise them all. We don't regard them as our own. We don't regard them as one of the Prophet Muhammad like, one of the Moses like, one of the Jeremiah, the Isaiah like, because they don't dress in a white robe with long beards. They are not holding sticks. So we despise them. That's what now. So you see, Africa, we import everything. Christians are worshiping the God of Israel, so imported God. Muslim in Africa, you are worshiping the God of Saudi Arabia, so even God, you import it. Islam is not for the African, it's for the Saudi Arabian. So Islam in Africa is an imported religion. Christianity in Africa, Christianity began in UK. So Christianity in Africa is an imported religion. So where is the African God? Where is the African religion? Yo.
MIT. MIT is an institution in America that specializes on, biomimicry. They specialize on technology. They are the hub of technology. You might be thinking of Silicon Valley in California, but MIT is so powerful, in the whole United States. And these are the information that they are telling us today without reading the Quran, by virtue of research and learning. They were talking about this world, they say, the world that we live in, this continent, the world that we live in today, as we walk on this earth, they say 800 million years ago, it used to be one material earth. It used to be one.
800 million years ago. Is that what he said? 800 million years ago. You let me just say 100, and that's a 1 million year. Muslims today, let me check today's date in Islam. That even show that Islam is fake. I'm telling you the truth. Let me show you today's date. Today, 7th June 2024. 7th June 2024 in Islam. Let me give you their date. Today's date in Arabic. Let me show you why. So that when these people are talking, you will understand. This is today's date in Islam. That is Dhul Hijjah 1445 AH. You are there, and history is telling you that a development took place 800 million years ago. But today you are there telling people in Islam, because of religion, you are there telling people that this world is 1445 years. You see hypocrisy. You see how people have refused to spread the truth instead of the lie that will help them in their own selfish way. Islamic date is what is on the screen for you. They are today 1445 years. Christians, on the other hand, they are in 2024. The Jews are in 5,700 and something. But you have read history telling that this world is years old. So why don't you leave this 1445 behind and follow the actual calendar? You see how selective these people are. You see it? No, but Christians say their unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. These are the miracles that this world is 800 million years. But you are telling people in the name of religion that it is only 1,400. And we are saying start here. This world began. Is it today? No, but catch a man for man can say you were dual hijab first 1,445. Nami ameti hapra me design. No one can say Mohamed away over all design. No, but catch say we are saying 1,000 years. Is everything all right? This is Islamic date, today's date. You can see the Gregorian calendar there, June 7, 2024, Gregorian calendar. And this is al-Qura calendar, the Islamic one. Al-Qura. I don't know if I'm mentioning it well. Al-Qura calendar, the Islamic one. 1,000. Christians, 2,000. The Jews, 5,000. It's just like about them 3 madmen met at one place, and they are trying to find out whose madness is better. That is all. 3 madmen met at one place, and they are challenging themselves to find out whose madness is better, whose own is worse. It's simple as that. Motia omo challenge omo hwahwe di aye tintin. Motia ye tintin aye sen. Na tintin klasa ye titia. How tall can a motia be? So a motia really telling you that me ye tintin mpukura no. Esan ya semfofro. O dia say on one continue, you should continue with his life.
Nothing like South America, North America, Asia, Africa. No, it didn't exist. There is one massive land which they call Pangea. Some call it Pangaea or Pangea. Pangea means there was a time that the whole continent was one, surrounded by the rivers and oceans. But then again, 500 million years ago, during the Mesozoic period, there was a flashlight, maybe some orbits, some mechanism of the universe have lost their energy and they fell on the earth and it broke into 2. They called it Gondwana and Laurasia. Then Gondwana began to break. It caused Asia, South Pole, Greenland, and part of Canada. And then Laurasia, Australia, South America, Africa, this is how it began. So they term this science that it is expanding. As we sit here right now, Africa is moving away towards Asia every year, 25 feet. It is moving. It is moving.
It is true. We call it la tectonique de plaque. Okay, what he is saying is true. The earth, and every time, I don't know how to put it in English, but la tectonique de plaque. For those who did geology, geography, and all those things, even at geology, geography, and all those things, you know what he's talking about. It is history is saying so. It's the end was way. Or can be seen so, and this one also part of the unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. Is the
from that blasting that occurred many years ago, they used to be very close. Now they're moving away. So there's going to be a time, maybe 100, 500 years ago, to go to America. It might take you maybe 50 hours. Who knows? Because the continent is moving. So they call that science the continental drifts. Continental drifts is a science, meaning the continent is drifting away. It's drifting and moving away from the singularity of the plates, the North American and the African plate. They are the powerful ones. They are still moving, even though the science think they are so very solid, but they are moving. Eventually, they're moving. They don't know how long it's going to be, but it's still moving. And the person,
I want a miracle about the Quran, and then drifting. Can miracle about the Quran, and
that hypothesized this science was called Alfred Wagner. In 1921, he postulated that the earth is perpetually moving on its axis, that the continents are giving away themselves.
So are you saying that the earth moving on its axis, la rotation, and as a revolution, are you going to tell me that no book in history has spoken about that until the Quran came 1,000 years ago to speak about it? Or the rotation or the revolution, la rotation, when the earth quand la terre tourne autour d'elle-même pendant 24 heures, when the earth goes around itself for 24 hours, or the revolution when it goes around the sun for 365 days. Are this part of the the miracles about the Quran? Mokasa. Say Prophet Mohamed says the Quran is not forged, therefore it is not forged. Won't you comfort our own? You never caught a cat. When you catch a thief, when you arrest a thief, the first thing to say is, no, I'm not a thief. I'm not the one who, or let me talk about a suspect or whosoever. He will say everything possible to defend himself. So you were expecting Mohammed, when he brought the Quran to the Arabians, when he brought the Quran to Medina, and telling people that he met God in a cave, or in Gabriel came to him in a cave, and Gabriel gave him the Quran. You are expecting Mohammed to say, "Oh yes, I am the one who forged it," when people were saying so, or you know, or you think he will also defend himself. So you were expecting Mohammed to say, "Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I forged the Quran myself. I'm sorry." This is what you were expecting him to say. This is what even you will you say, have you ever accepted your mistake before? And you want to Luke 11, baby. Luke 19, verse 11 say, Jesus said, those who don't want him to be king over them, they should bring all those people for them to be slain in front of him. It is a lie. Jesus didn't say that in the Bible. Jesus was giving a parable about somebody else. So Jesus was speaking. What Jesus was saying is reported speech. But you think Jesus is the one saying the thing about himself, and you make video about it. When I disprove that video of yours, have you come out to apologize to your listeners? No. You were expecting Mohammed to do it.
He made those statements. His own peers, the scientists, they questioned his scholarship. In fact, they said he's a liar. But after he died many years now, science with sophisticated machinery, they are supporting the concept that the continent is perpetually moving. Pangea. So Allah said, وَتَرَى الْجِبَالَ تَحْسَبُهَا جَامِدَةً وَهِيَ تَمُرُّ مَرَّ السَّحَابِ. You look at the earth, you think it is stationary. Allah is asking, do you think the earth is stationary? No, it moves just like the clouds move also.
Allah saying that in the Quran is not a breaking news. Listen carefully. For the Quran to ask a question that do you think the earth is stationary, do you think that the earth is not moving? That question is not a breaking news. Historians have spoken about those things long ago. So you see, religion, in this case Islam, it is for those who are slow in learning. If you have not read any, you have not studied geography, history, and you for the first time saw something like that in the Quran, what will you think? You will think Quran is the originator of that discovery, won't you? Won't you? This video, this video I'm making today, people are watching it today. Somebody will watch it 10 days later. That person, if not because Facebook will put date there, the person might think that he's the first person watching this video. Meanwhile, people have watched. So if you don't know, you see sometimes you these religious people, I don't understand you. A scientist will read over 20 books and come out with one conclusion. You religious people, you have read only one book, the Bible or the Quran, and you think you are wiser than those scientists. A book of 14 chapters. You are still reading. You are not done studying it. You are still studying it today, which is even a proof that you are a slow learner. You are still studying it till today. Say, do you think the earth is stationary? Do you think the earth is not moving? Even I want to Quran is not the one who broke that news. It is there. The Quran is only copying things around. And yet the same Quran that says Allah has been using the stars to hit Satan. Is it true? Is it true that Allah has been using the star to hit Satan? Wait. Because your prophet, or whosoever forged the Quran. Because sometimes some of the stars, you see lightning as if the star fall apart from the sky. Because of that, you will think something like so, say, Allah the boy, shaitan. This is a layman conclusion. What do you say? Say Prophet Mohammed or Tina Ponkoso the Koso. Or cause peace. Yeah. So Quran is not the first document to have spoken about that. No one can say unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. My guy, you are a liar. Let's continue.
Who told the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who told him, let's agree, that is my way?
You are asking who told him. It is the existing historic and geographic books, documents. They are the one who inform Muhammad or whosoever forged the Quran of that message. And yet Allah be Allah. It is not any Allah. Allah himself knows nothing about science to come and tell you that the earth is moving. Are you even saying that the earth is moving? The earth is moving to which part? The earth is not moving to any part. In the same way, the sun doesn't move. The sun spins. It's like this. It's not going to anywhere. It's at the same place. A spinning, and as a spinning, and in the air. The earth is not moving to any part. That's why we are saying that it rotates around itself. It's not leaving Medina to Mecca. The earth is not leaving Ghana to Togo. Assassino. And moving ko baby. And even that one, if that is what you think, is even a lie. What do you say? It's not moving from point A to point B so that you can calculate the arc in kilometer, whatever you use. The being rather, it is the continent, the peninsulas, the Iceland, and all those things, because of the sea, the waters, until the assassin and the airway. But the Yakasa earth, and we are seeing the world is not moving from here to another place. Say the moment dream say we are able call the way. It's never like that. It is never like that.
Then let's agree that Muhammad wrote the Quran, even though he didn't write it.
It is true. He can't write it. He can't write it. He's an illiterate. Muhammad was illiterate. On the intro. So it is true. He didn't write any Quran. Many people, Christians, in the same way, Jeremiah is an illiterate. Jeremiah or illiterate. Jeremiah only book. Until the book of Jeremiah and the book of Lamentation, even though his name is on it, he is not the one who hold a pen and a paper and write the book of Jeremiah. In the same way, people are attributing the Quran to Prophet Muhammad, the illiterate. He is not the one who wrote it. What do you say? See, what can you do?
We know the ayah. You, Muhammad, did not write any book. Allah is speaking. Nor did you learn from anyone. Had it been you've learned and studied, these babblers will have a reason to doubt your book. But you didn't learn. And Nabi al-Ummi, he's never gone to school. It is an inspiration. So this
he is saying himself. He is saying himself. So don't come and say that the cover says Muhammad is illiterate. Our Muhammad, he is the one who is also saying it. Yeah, with Ladi, I see you.
Nigeria has been shut off. When we show them that the Quran make mention about the expanding of the earth, it is moving, they were like, okay, well, maybe the Quran, maybe this, they can say it.
But do you know another lie in what he is saying? At that time, that Prophet Muhammad presented the Quran to the people in Medina. How can he just bring in Quran to people like this and tell them that the earth is moving and the people can see it and believe? Which machine did they use to check to know? How do they find out that that the earth indeed is rotating. He said that he told them, and they say, oh yeah. If that statement is in the Quran, and indeed the earth is moving, Montie, I will not speak for him. Montie, no, it's even a lie, because the movement of the earth, you can't see it with your bare eyes. You can't see it with your naked eye. You need machines. So Muhammad coming to them with Quran, with book, not machines. He coming to people with book, people of old age, ancient time, telling them that the earth is moving, and they are able to confirm that it is true, that the earth is moving. So Prophet Muhammad, because that statement is in the Quran, then we will believe you. This is even a lie. How do they check it? How? Then I'll come to you with a man, and I'll tell you that this is my father. And because I'm a human being, it is true that I can have a father. And I say this is my father. So you say, oh, I'm truthful. You will believe me. Religion, understand it. That is why Sir Arthur Clarke said, religion is the masterpiece of animal training, for it teaches them as to how they shall think and act. Religion is the masterpiece of animal training, because it teaches people how they shall think and how they shall act. Then your religion can be nipa way or to me history that they still he believed.
When we show them that the Quran make mention about the expanding of the earth, it is moving, they were like,
that one is a claim. How did the people verify it? How were they able to substantiate what Muhammad told them, that the earth is moving? How were they able to prove it? Muhammad Aka now said, oh, it is true, the earth is moving. Now if the earth is moving, will you feel it? Will you even know that it is rotating? You will not even know. So even this statement tells you that this man is just making up stories. It's a brain at work. What do you mean? May say you were lucky that you didn't face Abraham in a debate. And
okay, well, maybe the Quran, maybe they can say anything. So the Quran is challenging them. Unchallengeable Quran. You can't come out with any hypothesis. This is the reason why most of the Western intellectuals are accepting Islam.
It's not true. It is not true. If that statement that the earth is rotating, you are saying moving. If that statement that earth is moving makes the Quran holy, then all historical documents that said same, even before the Quran was brought, then all those documents are sacred, they are divine, they are all from God. Is that what you are telling me? Is that what you are saying? If that statement alone qualifies the Quran holy, then any other document that even has that statement or that founding, that discovery in them, all those books are holy. You are to worship the historian who came out, the writers of those books. Go and worship them all, because they are also God. Look, if you don't know your past, you will have to create a story to prove or to show that you have a past. If you don't know your past, you will have to come out with something. This is religion. If it is today that our Muhammad is to be converted into Islam, I'm sure he wouldn't have, because now he is wise. Listen to me carefully. Now Awal Muhammad, Sheikh Awal Muhammad is wise. Now he has wisdom, he has knowledge. So if it is today that they are asking him to join Islam, he wouldn't. But because he was forced into it from childhood, and now he has realized that the thing is false, but already he is benefiting from it. So what does he have to do? He has to find way to defend it so that he can continue to gain. And Reverend Bokfo or him say Christianity a fake. Obi him say a fake. Bishop Danka William say when I went to heaven 1 hour 45 minutes. Yina ye wakukudro. Me and Avram yina ye wakukudro. And the getini ye sofo ye gi amanfo sika tight na de nyina ye gi bibida. Na so ye behu say de ye fake no ye timi ka say ye jai. Yina ye wakukudro ye ka say bema ogana ye na ye bema. What do you say?
They don't believe in how we believe. They want to see. They want to touch. They want to analyze. To the laboratory. Until it becomes true. But they have to physically analyze it. And in doing that, we present them with all this information. And subhanAllah, the rate at which people are accepting Islam in America is paralyzing. It's excruciating. I feel so happy. Can I give you one lady?
So are you saying that Christianity is not also developing there? Islam is growing in America. And you think it's a work of Allah. You think it's because the Quran is true. That is why Islam is growing in America. Now I'm asking, Christianity, is it not growing in America as well? Does that mean that you accept that the Bible is also holy? Does that mean that you accept, you agree that the Bible is also true? If you accept that the Bible is also true, why don't you drink the blood of Jesus Christ and eat his flesh if you believe the Bible is true? Because Christianity is as well growing there. So, for the fact that people are converting into Islam, some people by fear, others because of their evil intention. You know, once you are called Ibrahim, Ahmed, Al-Aji, and all those, you are sure that you have a group of people behind you. Whatever foolish thing you do, they will support you and fight on your behalf. True of us. True of us. True or false? You just go by the name Ibrahim. Go and commit a crime. When they want to arrest you, just say, Wallahi, Muslims will come and help you fight. So if somebody is converting, people are converting into Islam, you must first of all find out why are they joining Islam. Is it because they find something truthful about the Quran, or because they think Islam is their refuge camp? People are not joining you because they find God. Other people will be joining Islam because they will have the freedom to marry up to 4. There is another reason. Other people are joining Islam because your hadith say you are going to enjoy 72 virgins in heaven. The person is here. He has not enjoyed a virgin before. But if he can enjoy 72 virgins in Jannah, why won't he join Islam? So it's not because the Quran is divine. Are you getting me? They say, TTT, brain at work. Brain at work. So if people are joining Islam here and there, you can't convince me that it is because they find the Quran divine. If not, then people are also joining Christianity on daily basis. Does that mean that they also find the Bible divine? And do you agree? People are also becoming atheists day after day. What about that one too? Atheism is also growing. It's also growing. Animism, day after day, people are going for more power. People are going for more initiation. Does that mean that that one is divine? Come again with your reason. That thesis of yours has been debunked. Come again. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want this video to be too long. I will end this one here. This is part 1. I will come again. The video is long. You will break it into pieces for you to get it clear. This is truth telling and brain at work. Ladies and gentlemen, I I don't only do religious teaching. So if you can see on the stream, we are saying that if you want our poems, I am also a playwright. I'm a poet. Okay, we're a playwright. So if you need a text, you want us to compose a beautifully designed text for you, you can contact our number 054 123 2463. The number is on the screen. We will write it and design it the way you want. It can be about any event at all. It can be about any event, any life situation, anything at all you want to have a text well composed in respect of literature, well composed. If you contact us, we will help you out. We will talk and see what to do. This is an example of it. Watch this. So this one reads, protect me, O loss of my motherland, when I am unjustly kept in remand. Do judges select the topic is the damning selective justice. The damning selective justice. And do you know that selective justice is injustice? I hope you all know that. Selective justice is injustice. So the topic is the damning selective justice. In another word, the damning injustice. Protect me, O loss of my motherland, when I am unjustly kept in remand. Do judges select who to jail? Who will appeal for my bail? The Attorney General in Umofia suggests shedding of innocent blood. He must be suffering from an enduring mania. The nation is miserably buried in a treated mood. While Ato is forcing for liberation, and Richard doesn't want to disappoint Jah, Fred capriciously ignore the principles of God.
Who will appeal for
And
my
so,
bail?
my
The Attorney
well-meaning
General
compatriots,
Delumi suggests shedding
injustice
want to disappoint
is
the other.
buried, or injustice is
capriciously
protected
ignored the
in the
principles
hundreds
of
of the
God.
ambulances.
And so,
Case
my
closed.
well-meaning compatriots,
That is a question. Case closed. And it is yesterday that I reproduced this piece. Okay. And those who understand literature will know the story behind. They know what this text is talking about. Okay. You know what the text is talking about. So you can contact Sister Dapoa for poems or your prose, the text, anything.
titled The Damning Selective
This
Justice.
is truth telling time.
Protect me, O laws of my motherland.
But it belongs to Allah, and you can see the fingerprint of Allah is at work. So therefore, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And back to the topic, what I have in front of me is the unchallengeable miracles of the Quran. You can't challenge the Quran. The Quran is fresh yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Every situation we find ourselves, the Quran was, at the end of the day, Allah who gave him information. And you make shirk with Allah? What? How? How could you become? And subhanallah, it is moving from that blasting that occurred many years ago. They used to be very close, now they're moving away. So there's going to be a time, maybe 100, 500 years ago, to go to America, it might take you maybe 50 hours. Who knows? Because the continent is days. Because if I get it too, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? I'm a man too. So don't ask me for no number. It's not going to work. You know, and it's just so beautiful how we do things. And there is this information about the black hole. You know about the black hole, the white hole, you know, which they call the quasar. The quasar is a state within the core of the universe. That part is called...
My friend, we story we the unchallenger unchallengeable miracles about the Quran. Now watch this video at the background carefully. These are the people looking for Allah. So they left their home from all parts of the world and they all went to Mecca to look for Allah. Put it in your mind. They went there to look for Allah. When they reached there, they didn't see any Allah. All they saw is the Kaaba, a stone. And look at how eager, how keen all of them were. They want to touch that stone at all costs. Convince me that this is not idolatry. They say, convince me that we catch them say we are Nyamusunsun. People travel all the way from Ghana or Africa to Israel to look for Yahweh. When they go to Israel, they don't see any Yahweh. They only see the Wailing Wall. People in Ghana also travel, people in Africa also travel to their hometowns and bow down to stones, and you label them as sinners, as wrongdoers. But the one you are doing here, because the place is well painted, because there's a nice tile on the floor, it is not idolatry. I drink and yet my body in the bread. Now I drink so I say there, no, nothing in answer. If you praise this one and insult Kwekubronsan, then there's something wrong with your cognitive domain. What do I say? If you are in love of this practice and you hate your grandfather, you hate your grandmother because she worships idol, because he worships idol, you hate him because he doesn't go to the mosque. But you, if you go to the mosque, this is what you do there, then you are not too far different. You are not too far from an ancient mad person, and you won't go far. Let's leave this one today. This is just the part 1. The part 2 of the same video shall come. Do share the video with others, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Truth Telling Time TV. Truth Telling Time TV. And for our poems, you will get them on Poems Hub. So Poem Hub, POEM separate, HUB separate, and SD, Poem Hub on YouTube. You will get our poems and all other important texts there. Thank you very much for following this lesson from the very beginning to now. Meet me again in another episode. This is Truth Telling Time, TTT, praying at work. And I'm going to ask you.